Welcome, everyone, to 55 and 5. I'm Ian Riccaboni. I'm joined by Cary Silkin. Cary, we're buzzing through this set, the 1955 Parkhurst Wrestling card set, one wrestler at a time. We're learning a lot. We're having a lot of fun. Yesterday was a good one.
Roy McClarty.
Roy the Great.
Pat O'Connor. Sonny Warcloud. You name it, they're coming at us.
The stars are lining up. And we're doing this because there's a lot of wrestlers in these really cool cards, these vintage wrestling cards. And some of these names are going to be lost to time if somebody doesn't talk about them. So that's our mission here, to bring you 5-minute history lessons on them. Cary, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. You might need it. Because we want to keep these brief.
You sure you don't mean 5 seconds?
You know, I'll admit this one was tough for me to actually find information on. So
no.
I'm going to bring this one out. One of the more interesting records. There you see folks at home. It's a horizontal card. I'm going to admit, I don't know what's going on in this card. I'm not sure I want to know. It looks like one man is doing something to another man that's not legal on television.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 men.
3. Oh my God. Yeah. We've had things banned before in the thumbnails. This one's getting banned too, I bet. Cary, what can you tell me about Toar or Thor Morgan?
Well, I could tell you that he had some interesting tactics here.
And the crazy part is, I don't know if he's on top or on the bottom. Both of those men look similar. And when you look up pictures, he kind of looks like both of the guys. I don't know if there's some weird artistic rendering of him wrestling himself. I don't know what's happening.
And the referee looks like him too.
Yeah.
Well, it's not TNT Tank Morgan.
No, it is not. Wow. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Well, I'm not ashamed.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Sure.
Toar. Toar.
Also,
where did he hail from?
Boston, another Bostonian, mighty Boston. Started his career in 43 in Boston. Wrestles for Eddie Quinn later that year. Appears to join the military. He's got a gap in his career, and I found a picture of him in service, and it appears he's in the Army. So there's guys like this that don't have Wikipedias, that don't have extensive biographies. You got to piece together what you can. There's a gap in his career. There's a picture from what appears to be the Army from 1943. I'm assuming he either got out of the Army and became a wrestler, or was a wrestler and had to stop and join the Army.
You sure he wasn't in the Navy?
Well, yeah.
In the Navy.
Is that why my dad joined the Navy anyway? So he comes back, Maple Leaf Wrestling in 45, the Bostonian AWA again in 45. The record I talked about, this one's going to be brief and not a whole lot of information on Toar Morgan that I could find. Cary, from October of 1946, he defeats Cherry Vanilla. So he defeats
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Cherry Vanilla of the Andy Warhol. Cherry Vanilla was maybe the LA, one of these LA 70s groupie rock.
Yeah, this is not that person. I hope not. Defeats a wrestler named Cherry Vanilla. How long do you think it was before he won another match?
And what year was the Cherry bout?
1946.
Well, he must have won about next year at least.
No. Keep going.
2-year gap.
Keep going.
Did he retire?
No. Yeah.
1952.
1951, on November 20th, he went 5 years, according to WrestlingData.com and according to Cage Match.
And he was active.
He was active, and not only were they not, remember with Steve McGill won a year, he just had draws. Toar Morgan apparently just lost every single match he was in.
He was the Lee Wong of that era.
So Toar Morgan, the card says he had a lot of success in New York City. I could find 2 matches in New York State. So these cards, we anticipated they were full of baloney. He had 2 matches in New York State, one of which he was beaten by Wee Willie Davis.
I think have we seen Wee Willie Davis?
Not in the set, but we've talked about Wee Willie Davis. And that's about it for Toar Morgan. I mean, if anybody has any more information, Toar Morgan had a long career, but not usually on the winning side of things, and not a lot of information. There seems to be a gap. There's military service, it looks like. We thank you for your service, Mr. Morgan, but this that 5-year losing streak.
It's amazing that they published him at all.
Yeah.
God bless him.
God bless him. And he's got, he says he's from Tennessee. This is the other thing. The card says he's from Tennessee. There's nothing anywhere that says this man's from Tennessee other than this card. And it says he's been a headliner in New York ever since. And this man...
And he had 2 bouts.
He had 2 bouts in the state of New York that I could find, let alone the city.
Well...
And we know the results are spotty, but usually if somebody says you're a headliner in New York, something shows up.
Well, I'll be anxious to see if the Dave Meltzers, if the Tim Hornbeckers, if the Greg Olivers of the world know something about him.
Yeah.
And, we welcome.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's scenarios. Lou Newman was a guy that had this extensive career, wrestled everywhere on some of the first tours of Japan. He doesn't have a Wikipedia. He doesn't have newspaper articles. It's possible that Toar Morgan's a great humanitarian, or it's possible that he was part of the mission that launched the rocket to the moon. But we don't know. So if you do know, leave a comment, please. We'd like to learn a little bit more about Toar Morgan also. And if you have a result in between October 2nd, 1946 and November 20th, 1951, let us know so we can give Toar Morgan his props. But Cary, this was a little bit of a different one today. A little bit of an
interesting,
unknown.
and I hope this doesn't get banned by YouTube.
For pornography again. Like the Whipper Billy Watson episode. But I thank everybody for joining us. I thank Cary, AJ, our producer from Bisson Creative. For more of Cary and I, check out Last Stop Penn Station, wherever you get your podcasts. Check out adfreeshows.com for the Last Stop Penn Station poster of the week. Watch Ring of Honor every week. Have a little fun. Watch some wrestling. Get down. Use the hashtag WatchROH. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm Ian and Rick Abani. Happy wrestling, everybody.